Okay.
Okay, you guys, welcome to the call. Tonight we're going to talk about our new virtual back office, and I've got Rod Garcia, my husband, on right now, and he's going to walk us through some things that he learned today. And I'm so glad you guys could make it today, and I hope that if you're watching this recording or if you're on live, that you guys can learn how exciting this new back office is going to be for us. So Rod, you can go ahead and start screen sharing.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this here going.
Like I said, we have just started researching this as well as you guys, so we want to just really give you the basics so that you can take those basics back to your team. The main objective tonight is to show you guys what's up now and what you can get to and what you can see and where to go if you have a problem or if you have a suggestion or if you think something can be done better. We're going to show you exactly how to do that. So Rod's going to show you what he learned today by researching some of the stuff and watching some of the videos that they had.
Okay. Well, the first thing, no, Jana, I didn't get a screenshot of the login page because I didn't get a chance to get to that. But we did talk about that being really the first step everybody should have is just making sure you can get in. And if you just go to the link that you were provided in the email from Plexus, that will get you to the correct page. And the most crucial thing is it tells you not to log in with your email address and password, but for you to log in with your username and password, whatever your username was on your previous site, and that password. This should get you right in. Probably the most, I guess the biggest problem that we saw was when you first attempt to log in, it asks you if you would like to send an email to you to gain further access. But in reality, if once you log in there, it accepts your username and your password, you're in. And so we've already discussed that. I wish I had a picture of that screen. But once you're in, that screen really is, it's, we mentioned the Plexus, it's kind of deceiving because it makes you believe that you have to wait for an email before you can proceed. In reality, you're in your back office. You'll see on the top some links to get to certain areas right away. And one of the screens I'll show you here in a minute, but let's pretend we're in there. But if you have any problems, it just has to do with your username and password, and you'll get that screen that might tell you to update your name and so forth.
Okay, so what Rod's saying is when you get to the screen that says resend information,
you don't have to.
You don't have to resend. You're already in. So we've already talked to Plexus about that. You need to make sure your ambassadors know that when your screen pops up that says resend, you're already in. You just have to go to the top right-hand corner and click on your virtual office. So a lot of people really get stuck at that point, and we already talked to our Plexus coach about that. That's a very confusing screen. And so when you see the resend button, don't hit resend. Just go to your top right-hand corner and click on virtual office. You're already in.
Right. Okay, so once you're in, then you're going to see a link that says to your virtual office, and this is your virtual office. This is what you're seeing when you first log in. You'll see your dashboard, and they don't really have a lot of. I don't see a lot of big problems with the way it's, like there's definitions everywhere, so you can find out what everything is just by clicking on something that's going to give you more information. But this dashboard is really key to just getting everywhere that you need to get in your back office. So right away, you're going to see, your subscription and and whatever the status is of that. You're going to have your current PV there, because we all want to see those quick numbers of what our current PV is today. And then next to it, you have your points and rank, which is, it's right there. It tells you exactly where you're at in terms of your team. I'm not sure, Jan, does it show you the pictures of the people?
The pictures of the people?
Of the Zoom call. Do I have to move the screen around, or do y'all?
We can see you. Is that what you mean?
Never mind. I get it. Yeah, but you're not saying this. Okay, I'm just trying to move it around where it's not interfering with your view.
Yeah, we can see. But this page, the most important thing is to make sure that your subscription is on, and to make sure that your team's subscription is on. And this is going to make sure that they get their products every month. So that first box on the left is the most important thing to make sure people understand what that means.
Yeah, I think that's why they put it there. It's in the front, it's in the top, and it's something it's really affect. We talked about this many times. That having that on is going to affect your pocketbook. In reality. So the more people that you can get, to turn the subscription on, the better it is for all of us, because we're all going to be, if we're all passionate about the products, we want to have that subscription on so we don't forget. And needless to say, if it's not on, unfortunately, you may not get paid if you haven't, right, Jana? I mean, if you don't have it on.
Well, and the most important thing about having your subscription on is making sure that you and your ambassadors are getting their products every month. And it's such a big difference. I'll tell you, the statistics show that if people don't have their subscription on, they're much less likely to stay consistent and then to be successful with the products. They really need that subscription on, because it takes a couple months to be successful with the products. And a lot of times, if that subscription isn't on, they will not reorder on their second month. So that's a really big tip from all the diamonds, that when you sign somebody up, their subscription order needs to be on so that they can get their convenience order. Yes, Kathy, the subscription is what used to be called the convenience order, and really is a much better way to say it, because you're subscribed to your order. Okay.
We're going to move from here, but I do want to point out that on the far left you have a menu, and a lot of these menus can be found in up here on this top menu selection. You also have it here. So I'm going to go to the next page, and this will be the let's see. I'm trying to see.
It shows your consistency club numbers.
Yeah, this is just on the same page. This is actually just scrolling further down, and then you do have your consistency club, and then some other quick links to get to some other resources.
Yeah, this is your shareables page. So this is going to be where you can find all of your shareables for your different products and different things like that. They also said that, I haven't looked at it yet, but what I hear is that there is an updated opportunity meeting slideshow in this shareable. So you guys really need to spend some time, like I do, going in and seeing what all the new shareables about. Because I'm hearing people, a lot of jewels are very, very excited about a lot of the stuff that they've added to the shareables section. And then the Sunny and Share is the blog about healthy eating and different stuff that you can share with your team and your customers. And then the Scoop, is up-to-date news of the company, the recognition, and the different news updates and different things that they're bringing to us. That's the thing on the right. And then the Help Center on the left is what Rod's going to talk about, how we can help spread the words back to the company of things that you feel like you want to improve about the website.
Yeah, and I'll show a screenshot of that here in a sec. But I actually went down to the menu and just uncollapsed them all, starting from the top. So the first one is My Business. And this is what each of the sections will cover.
So you can go see how many of your new ambassadors purchased welcome packs. You can go see what the points and rank up. Yeah, there's a lot of different details that you can go to and look at.
You can quickly see how many welcome packs are purchased. Those are put into a little box that you can see those numbers, because you know, like we said, those are your Friday paychecks when those building business bonuses are derived from those welcome packs. You have new ambassadors with no activity. It's broken down so you know which new ambassadors that need to be reached out to. You also have the ability to report on any of that data, like I said, for 13 months, and you can also export any of that data into like Excel or some other type of spreadsheet. The next section is the points and rank up, and that's going to give you all your current points and your rank. I don't think right now that that's accurate. I think they're making a change on that, but because it should show you, just like the old system, if you started at the beginning of the month, you're going to start as just an ambassador, an associate, and then as your points climb up throughout the month, it will start going up to, you know, whatever your rank is. But right now, I think it's just defaulting to whatever your highest achieved rank is, and then it shows you what your next rank will be if you continue. And then it also gives you a great breakdown of all your ambassadors. And what I like about it, it shows you how many of those ambassadors are at $100 PV. So that tells you right there, do you have those people that they're either buying it consistently or they're using that subscription option to make sure they get their products. And then you also have how many ambassadors are below $99 in PV. And that's very critical, because you might have, you know, a lot. I had to give you a number, but there could be a lot of them just sitting at, say, $75 or they're at $90 and they need that $100 to be qualified. And it also shows you how many ambassadors are at 0 PV. So that's where you have to start working on reaching out to those team members and just find out, you know what it is about the product, that why haven't they ordered, or just gives you that talking point, because they're sitting at a $0 PV that they haven't ordered for that month yet. It also gives the ambassadors that within the 30 days of how many are within 30 days of their annual renewal, so you know that their Plexiversary is coming up. Also, like the section that has the weight and what to do and rank up means, it's very well explained there in that category. Is there any questions, Jana, before I keep going on?
I don't see any yet.
Okay. It has a quick link that gets straight to the compensation plan. So if somebody goes, well, what is the compensation plan? It's right there. You know that you can find it. If it has to do with your points, the compensation plan is there. And that compensation link is actually, I found to be in several areas, because they really want you to have access to that. And you also have the ability to report on that data for the last 13 months and the ability to export. So you can quickly look at your points and see where you were 6 months ago or 3 months ago, a year ago, and it's a great tool that you can use to your advantage. The next section is the commission summary. It shows you the current and the past month, how much commission was paid, and it breaks it down monthly and weekly. And you can also export that data. And I like looking at that, because that to me is very, I don't know, what's the word? It's when you're looking at it and you're seeing that your money's climbing, it's just a great incentive to see that on that summary. It knows that, because the final result of all your work ends up in that commission summary. And then for this section, you have the rank advancements, and I don't think that's working yet, at least not today. The nice thing is Plexus I've seen remarkable improvements this past week since they rolled out this new back office, and every day I've seen it. I've seen the changes that they've made, and I've seen that it's actually seems to be running a lot smoother, and we're getting some speed there. But there's still some areas that are not working entirely. So I think we should just be patient on some of these things. The sections there, they know it. It just hasn't been populated with data yet. But it does show you, from what I can see, it'll show you your team members. It'll show you the rank, what their paid rank is versus what their previous month rank was, and what their highest achieved rank was as well. So those are good ones for having those discussions and having those powwows that, or it's just great to have that kind of data right in front of you that you can quickly see that.
Hey Rob, somebody's asking, do the shareable videos work yet?
I clicked on a few, and I did see a few work. So,
okay,
and some of the shareables themselves do work as well.
And what is the CSV format?
CSV, it's like a text file. It's a comma separated values, but you can export it. You can import it into like a spreadsheet. So if you do, is it numbers? That's a Mac program. I think it's numbers. You can import it that way, and so you have your columns that you can sort data or however you want to filter it, and then you can also use Excel. But it's really, it's some people want to be more visual. Sometimes you can do some of that sorting online with the report they're giving you, but not to the extent as doing it on a spreadsheet. So if you're really a number cruncher or want to see data in a different format, it just has a good exporting. It's always good. The next section is the training center, and I was really impressed. They have a lot, Plex has invested a lot of money and resources into training, and they compiled it all in this area, so you don't have to go try to hunt it down, or is it on YouTube, or is it in the back office, or where is it? It's all here. There's links, and all of these sections here under resource library. This is everything that's covered. I just copied and pasted the whole list of everything that can be found there. So that's quite a bit of information just for that section. So some of these that they have some things you can actually print out. There's PDFs, so things that you can share with your team, or just carry on you. And then also the next section below that is the rank up roadmap. Currently, the tracks they have available for the training, and these are specific training that will get you from silver all the way to diamond. I mean, if you follow these tracks of accomplishment, it's going to open up the next track, and then you get to advance down the roadmap. And right now, between silver and ruby are available, and the rest are coming later. It's just I think it's a great tool they offered for us. It's a recent one, but it's nice that they provide that. It's just a big plus for us. The last part of this section is the success on demand, and that was released. When was it, Jana? Was it convention last year?
I think so.
And anyway, there's a big improvement in that section too. Once you click on that, it takes you outside of the back office, and there's a whole section that's strictly for self-development. And Jana can tell you well, you can hear it for yourself when Jana speaks, because she's actually spent a lot of time in self-development, and I'm very proud of her because she's used every one of these types of resources to get to where she's at and to maintain that status. So I highly recommend that we all do. We have to do some kind of self-development. The funny thing is, we go to school. I'm going to just go quickly say this, but we go to school and we can learn everything. But a lot of this stuff here, it's not really covered. And so you really have to spend that time investing into yourself. And it not only helps you, right, Jan, it doesn't only help you in your business as a Plexus ambassador. I think it helps you in life in general. And so
it does.
You're going to find yourself a diamond. So I'm going to go down to the next one. This is under incentives and recognition. Did I miss something? Maybe I didn't copy it right. But you have under recognition, you have pictures. And real, Dan, I don't know if they told you much about that, but they just have pictures. You can filter it by pulling diamonds, or you can pull it by sapphires, and you just get a portrait picture of who they are and what rank they're at. And I did also see where, like under diamonds, you can see if somebody is at diamond, and like for yourself, it says diamond and reentry, and that you're sitting at ruby or senior ruby. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool to see. But anyway, I wish they would put like maybe some kind of story that everybody could write themselves and put it right.
Well, I think eventually they'll be linking our diamond documentaries to that.
Yeah, that would be nice, because all those are motivating. It's nice to see the pictures, but you want to see more besides the pictures. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Consistency Club, and that has been a kind of a fairly neat program that we've seen a lot of activity in that, and a lot of people. It's amazing the type of prizes they're giving out, and a lot of people are moving up from the 300 club to the 500 and then the 700. But it's all explained there. It tracks all your numbers for you, so you don't have to figure out, well, how many more do I need to get to this or to that. It's all there. There's actual in that dashboard. You can see numbers for the current month, your PV, how many new ambassadors you got, and how many new customers. And then you have all these shareables that are in there. There's flyers, prizes, what prizes that you can win under each of the categories of Consistency Club, FAQs, and the rules behind it, which are good things to share with your team for that business building. There's under sharing plexus, it's called latest and greatest. These are all the shareables. That's basically what the first few sections are. Is everything, all the latest catalogs and the graphics are going to be under latest and greatest. Under promotions, you're going to have promotional shareables. If there's anything that's come out, there's ambassador specials are going to be there as a shareable. And what I mean by shareable is that all those can be quickly posted to social media. You can download them. You can email them. They also have Canadian incentives.
You can private message them, which is what I do a lot.
So they're there. You just have to utilize them. And from looking at it, a lot of it looks like fresh material. So it's not like they just brought in some of the old stuff. They have a lot of new material in there right now. So that was pretty exciting to see. And then you have products, and you have all the product shareables. So it's a breakdown of all the products that we have. And once again, you have the ability to share those any way you want. Under tools, you have tools themselves. There's things in there that you can do for yourself, or just some quick information. There's FAQs. There's a before and after tool that's there. It shows you how to go through that if you'd like to submit one. Lexi, many of us have Lexi. It shows you there's how to get to Lexi and get it on your mobile device. If you're having a Facebook event, I believe there's some shareables there for promoting that event. There's everybody's favorite, compliance. There's shareables for compliance there, and products. And once again, like I said, you have the ability to share every one of these tools with your team. So that's so it's not just customer based, it's also team based, so you can do all that. And then lastly, on the side menu, you have shop, and that takes you out of your virtual office, and then it'll take you into your Plexus store. This is basically what your customers would see as well. And I put these two arrows here because it shows you quickly that you can go under subscribe here to subscribe it either for yourself or as a preferred customer. You can click on that and build that subscription. If you look under your initials, it's also going to have an account saying my account, and you can click on that and also build your subscription. And actually, I think, Jan, we ordered the other day from here, didn't we? And
Yes, yesterday.
yeah, yeah, it was yesterday. It was really simple. I mean, it was simple to go through here and navigate, add the products, and it drops into your cart. And so I was able to get that. And the nice thing is, all the information from the old website, the old back office, was here. I didn't even see a problem. Remember how we had a problem with the credit cards? It had to, I think you had to put the what's that CV number
Yeah.
on the. I don't think we had to put that number this time. I think it retained it.
Yeah, and we can use PayPal now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big, huge deal.
So
We've been asking for a long time.
I think the store itself is very clean. I mean, I like the way it's laid out, and they also break it down just like with these categories of weight management, nutrition, personal care, your combos, trial packs, and retailer, and then their marketing materials. And then, why did I jump? I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh, then on the bottom of that menu, I wanted to get over here to this part where it says, how can we help you? And then you click on this Ambassador Help Center, and that's going to put you right here. And there's actually videos, and there's just regular information that shows you how to log in for the first time, and then for your virtual office. Currently, they're not supporting Internet Explorer. I'm not even I haven't got an answer on that, or maybe Janet, why they didn't use that as one of their main platforms. But
I think they're working on that right now.
Yeah, but I use Chrome. And what do you have on your? You have Safari on yours, Jan. You've been using that on your Mac, and so we haven't seen any issues with that. But under like first time login, you have all these questions here that you can quickly look at to see if it's something that you've experienced, and then you can get a quick answer. Same thing under the virtual office section. How do I sign in my virtual office? What is the dashboard? Just all the information is there. It's very good. Nice way they laid it out. It's very good information. And then you also have below that, you have enrollments and all the questions about enrollment. How to enroll as a preferred customer. What is a welcome pack? How to enroll as an ambassador, place as ambassador. So all that good information that we need to know, especially you're the new people. If you can just point to the dashboard, cover the basics of where everything's laid out, they won't be calling you as much because they'll have the information at their fingertips. Same thing with my account, all this information. And some of this is probably going to be changed. I mean, once they iron out some of the problems, you're going to probably see some of these things they're going to make it easier to do some of these tasks that we do on a daily basis. And then if you scroll further down, you're going to see a section for shopping, and then there's all of these questions on shopping and how do I pay with an e-check, and then it has just anything how to apply a promo code and everything to do with your subscription. Now, if you look at the very bottom, you can also, it says report an issue. To me, that's a big plus because that tells you right there that Plexus really wants to hear from you. And they're just not just, taking the information over the phone. They're actually recording it. And so if you click on report an issue, it opens up this, the section is called Plexus Worldwide User Voice. So if you see uservoice.com, that has everything to do with the reporting, all this information here, but also reporting of issues that you might have experienced. It also explains here how to report an issue. And then if you scroll down, and you'll have click on this reporting, you're going to scroll down and you'll see first time login. This is that section of reporting. You can come to this section here. Oops. Let me go back. You see a blank screen?
Yeah.
There you go. You can type your question right here. The great thing is that people can vote on the issue. So if there's already an existing problem that you see that you're experiencing the same, you can vote on it. So then those votes are actually ranking up the issues. And so they're prioritizing the work. So the higher a problem becomes, then obviously it's widespread or it's something they really need to focus on, getting more votes. So I would go through there and say, okay, I'm experiencing those. And at least right now, I'd say for the next few weeks probably, or hopefully not too much longer than that. But if we could go through there and just kind of help Plexus identify which ones here are ones we want to see fixed or the ones we're experiencing, we would probably see some quicker results on some of these.
Yeah, this is a really important section, you guys. If you have any suggestions or if you think something can be done better, go look in here and see if it's already been reported. If it has, be sure and you vote on that, because they're going on those votes by what they fix first. So when they're turning off the system for an hour here and an hour there, it's to fix these things, and they're going priority-wise based on what everybody wants more than other things. So the more you vote on stuff, the quicker those things are going to get done. So we really need to make sure we're voting on what we want to be done.
And they're really, like I explained to one of the guys from Plexus the other day, we were talking to him, is that, I work for a large company. I got laid off last week, but I work for a very large company, and their reporting system wasn't even as nice as this, because this here, what would happen was we would have a problem, and then we would submit, an email that would generate an incident so somebody could go look at it and work on it. The problem is if 50 people had the same problem, they would submit all those incidents, and then they just would get backlogged, and some of those things would never get answered. Here, they're giving us the ability to vote on them. You can go through here and look at the problems, see it's already been reported, and then vote on it. And that way, they don't have to go filter through all these same, problems being submitted. I would probably go to the search. That's why I circle over here. I would go to the search and do a search for, like, when I searched earlier, I was looking for customer login, and I did here, and I got some feedback on that, some customer experiences. So you can just go through here and do some searches. But I also like at the very top, they should make it a little bigger, but it says post a new idea. That tells me they're at least listening to us. Plexus is really listening to us. If you can click on here and now you can give them a suggestion of, how they can make the product better for us.
Okay, so Crystal's asking, where do you find the pay portal and commission info? Did you figure that out?
No, but I'll tell you what, commission info is, well, I've already covered the commission info being under the commission summary. I'm sure the pay portal is just like it is now. They haven't said they changed that. That is actually on a different site still. So I believe they're still going to keep that separate, because that never was part of the back office.
Right.
It just seemed like it, but it was actually a link to somewhere else.
Okay, and if you can't find it, then call or email that number, or
just go down there and do a search under reported issue and see, okay, where is it? Have they changed it?
Okay, and then Lisa wants to know, have you heard anything yet about preferred customer discounts? I had a few customers get their subscription but not their discount. That's the first that I've heard about that, Lisa. But I will look into it and see. I haven't heard of that happening yet with any of my customers, but it's still pretty close, early in the month. So if you are finding that to be a problem, then I would definitely call customer service and ask them, and have your customer number ready so that you can ask them. They'll probably credit them, issue them a refund for that.
Well, Jane, I'll tell you what, I think if anybody, if you can overcome just the logging in thing, if you have a problem with that, think it's just an easy fix. But check with customer service if you can't get in there with your, if you know for a fact that's your username. That's the most critical thing. Make sure you can get your back office.
And then team members can get in their back office.
Exactly. Make sure that they everybody that you work with can get into the back office. But in reality, I mean, just like this is our business. This is we pay $34.95 to have a store and a back office. I think we need to spend some time for the next few weeks, learning, clicking on go to the training center and learn about all you can, or just clicking around anywhere. And really can't break anything. If you find a new problem, the nice thing is you can report it and they'll fix it. But I really like the layout. I think it's very user friendly. It's very appealing. I know there's a lot of people asking for some big changes that are probably, obviously everybody has their 2 cents of how things should have been done better, or how they should have laid it out. But I think in reality, from what I've seen, they did a good job on the new back office, and I think the transition has been more favorable than the last one that we experienced 2 years ago. But I think the fact that they are making changes, they're making the changes pretty rapidly, and we should probably see a pretty stable and very efficient system here pretty soon.
Yeah, and here's the difference. I'm very optimistic because the last system that we had, we didn't have any control over that. That was something that Plexus hired a company that they thought was going to be really good, and once they had them, were under contract. So anything we wanted to be changed, they couldn't change anything because their hands were tied. Where now it's in-house, we have a whole IT department. So they're listening to us. They're listening to us as to what we need, what we want, what's going to make our businesses better. So, it's going to be a couple weeks before they can fix everything that we want to be fixed and make everything the way we want it to be made. But the great thing is that they can do it, and they will do it. So everyone's super optimistic. Everyone's really excited because of the potential that this system has compared to our last one. And so the most important thing is making sure that you can order, making sure your customers can order, making sure your subscription is on, and making sure you know how to report the issues that you find. And so those are the most important things. If you have a specific problem with any of these things, you need to get with your sponsor or your nearest Jewel upline in order to fix those things, or call customer service and get those things fixed, because everyone wants to help. Everyone's willing to help. We don't know all the answers yet, but we're finding out daily the different things that are being implemented, and we are making suggestions. I mean, the Diamond Group is going nonstop, and the Jewels Group with things that are being implemented every single day, of things that we know that are going to make our lives easier as well as y'all's. So Laura said, Crystal, that the pay portal can be found under the initial circle, then payments, then Plexus Wallet. So it is in there. You just have to go to that. So hopefully you'll be able to find it. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. I know a lot of you guys have been in there looking for things and finding it. So also, I will make a post in the Rockin' Group for you guys to write your questions about the back office, and then I would really appreciate if you leaders could go in there and help answer those questions. If it's something you cannot figure out on your own or with your sponsor, then we'll make a link for that. We'll make a post for that you guys can ask questions, and then if you know the answer, you can go in there and answer them for us like Laura just did. That would be really great. So I will post that after the call. And I think we're done, right, Rod?
Yeah, but there's one thing I do want to say, Jana.
Okay.
Because obviously I've learned from just observing you, but I think if you're back, Jana would always ask me every day, and she'd ask me how my numbers were, or what's your customer thing like, or how many customers you have, or just whatever. a lot of times I didn't know because I didn't go into my back office every single day. And Jana would spend every day she'd have her back office open. She was looking at those numbers and she was looking at who the new ambassadors were, who were they under, and reaching out to people where she could. And so I would suggest that anybody who really wants to become successful, you have to be informed, and you have to be informed with your own business. You got to be plugged into the back office. If somebody asks you, somebody say, "Hey, have you seen that new ambassador that joined?" They're like, "No." You need to get in your back office and make sure you get that information on a daily basis because I made the mistake of just going in there when I needed it, which was just occasionally, but in reality I needed it every day because it's motivating to see those numbers or not see those numbers. You want to see those, you want to be able to see that the numbers are growing either in your PV or in your points, and as your team out, your number of team ambassadors. But I suggest you use your back office. I mean, pay for the money. It's a great tool, and I think it'll get you where you want to go.
Yep, that's very true. And like Bob Heilig says all the time, a great leader knows their numbers. They know their team growth. They know their team's lack of growth. They know who's bringing in the customers. They know who's bringing in the ambassadors. They know, whose teams are growing. They know if their team's growing. They know month to month, and they're watching those numbers. And like Rod said, that can be very motivating to make sure that you're familiar with your back office. So we both would highly recommend that you go in there and look at your back office, as much as possible and keep up with those numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.